Right.
You know, he puts the E in gaming. You really can't go anywhere. There is no way to go from that. That is the peak. But yeah, right
Exactly.
now,
That's why he's on top 8.
hmm
Straight up. That's it.
he's been there. Yeah. So it seems like King Chris, already in the arena. The stages seem to have already been striked. We were just
I do that
waiting
too.
on Enarmonia just to jump in, just to see what's happening. Um, but yeah, in the meantime, guys, I just really appreciate everybody who came in and just to hear us talk about the funny video game. Because this game, it sure does things sometimes. Enarmonia, of course, like playing Robin. I remember seeing their tag a couple of times. I don't remember too much of how they play. But this is going to be an interesting matchup, not one that you see particularly often. I feel like on paper, Zero Suit, I mean, she's fast. She is limber. She is fast. She has all of the tools that she needs to be able to effectively move around Robin's projectiles. Especially since they have so much startup. Robin doesn't have a fantastic keep away game. And look at that, Lights already just cornering Enarmonia, pushing them to the edge of the stage.
Yeah, Lights has been. There's a reason why they are near the top of the charts of the Wi-Fi Warrior rank, number 10 in the world, if my memory serves me correctly. But Enarmonia, certainly not a force to be, or certainly a force to be reckoned with, beating Floppe by a score of 2-1. That Wii Fit trainer who's been making their name known on so many of these Wi-Fi brackets. However, Lights is in a different beast entirely. Going to follow up with that flip kick, one of the better, more diversified options in this entire game. You want offense, it's got it. If you want defense, you can create some space for yourself, no problem. And Enarmonia, though they are on the warpath, might just be a little too difficult to deal with. The Lights simply too bright as they're going to draw first blood on Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, this looks really tough for Enarmonia. Enarmonia is just like sort of swinging at empty space right now, trying their best to try to catch one of Lights' landings, but Lights just mixing up their movements so well, making themselves as ambiguous as possible. Gonna neutral get up right into the arc fire there, but no punish from Enarmonia quite yet. And they're starting to bring this back ever so slightly. They just need to find a way to secure the stock, and that is far easier said than done. Really, really good trade in Enarmonia's favor there.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of patience might benefit Enarmonia here, because when you are playing ZSS, especially against Robin, you are controlling the pace of this game. You can play this aggressively. You can circle camp with ZSS on Wi-Fi if you so choose, and Lights certainly not proving to be above that tactic, but right now trying to employ every single part of ZSS's game plan.
And
They
just
are going to get caught, however, with that upward swing of the sword, and Enarmonia gets on the board.
Yeah, I mean, Robin's forward, that move is so scary. It just
Yeah.
covers so much space. Where are you going? Off stage, apparently. And while that side B just being able to beat out, the arc fire projectile like that, gonna be going. It's super, super good for King Chris. At like a mid to long distance, they just know that, this button can basically effectively create like a shield for them. But the awareness from Enarmonia is so good. Understanding that Lights burned all of the resources. They were super, super vulnerable in that moment. That is exactly how you punish Zero Suit Samus's recovery. As soon as you see that, that's your signal. That's your sign to go off stage, hit her off, and she's dead.
I feel like you need to be a little bit careful, because, yeah, you were in disadvantage, and I guess that's as good a time as any to let Levin's sword try to work its way back up, but now you're again kind of out of luck. You're going to have to rely on your regular toolkit, and though you're up a stock, you're always in danger of getting down smashed if your landings are wrong. So just got to make sure that you're not going to get punished by one of the more technically sound players on Wi-Fi. However, the sword is back, and it is sharpened and ready to go, and Enarmonia needs to be just as sharp if they want to stay in this one. A 2-stock victory is in sight, Dara, but what do they need to do in order to secure it?
They need to gone because right now King Chris is swinging. King Chris is trying to really hold forward. I feel like Enarmonia has been getting punished more times for committing to arc fire. And King Chris is just positioning themselves properly, just to be able to beat it out and punish it every single step of the way. Really good landing back here, just to be able to reset the situation entirely.
Good back air.
Robin just has so much time in the air. Wow.
Oh, wow. That is a big, big miss, and Enarmonia there to capitalize. Again, it's all about positioning, and Enarmonia, well, the future remains unwritten. They're looking to write themselves a storybook run here in Smash Out Breast Cancer. What better way to do that, Dara, than by scoring the upset over the premier Wi-Fi ZSS?
Yeah, and they did it in a really, really smart fashion too. I feel like Enarmonia was like very, very smart with how, that second stock. That's just like that to me just screams matchup, and that just screams matchup experience. Like, okay, at this point in the stage, they burned that. I can run off stage, hit them, they immediately die. And as soon as that happened, we just saw like the switch in the game plan from Lights. We saw a much more aggressive play style, and Enarmonia was just able to capitalize off that so well. But yeah, going into game two here. Lights is definitely just going to be a little bit more, I feel like, a little bit more conservative with how they're using these resources off stage.
Yeah, you would have to think. I mean, it's the one thing that kind of kept Lights in this thing and stopped the clock at 19 seconds. That's all Lights needs to get on the board. Welcome to the compilation.
Man, that no flip kick, menacing. At 30%, you're just dead, huh? There is nothing you can do about that. You just kind of have to hold it. Only 10% to King Chris's name right now. Enarmonia, this is really starting to snowball away from them. They seem to be trying to force an interaction here. By the way that they're jumping, trying to force all these, call-outs when King Chris starting to play, a little bit more grounded or just like at least outside of Enarmonia's threat zone.
And landing again with these plasma whips and Zares, giving themselves a little bit more space, realizing that Enarmonia has been given far too much in terms of controlling the neutral. Good follow-up to connect with that 11 sword back air, going to give themselves a little bit more room and make recovery just a little tougher. It really is going to come down to how well you can call out flip kick. Now you got to play ZSS on hard mode. This is going to be tough. We're trying to read a neutral get-up, but Enarmonia, knowing better than that, question is, how does Lights condition the rolls so that they are able to... Oh, beautiful! Catches the mash out, and 3-1. I mean, you talk about conditioning. Lights has Enarmonia trained.
That was hot. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That was hot. That was really cool. Yeah, like Lights was like really clearly confident in practice, had a whole bunch. And Enarmonia, that was a huge check to not overcommit to arc fire at ledge. That is usually the Robin's like default ledge trapping option. It's so powerful, it's so strong. But boy oh boy, can Zero Suit kind of cheat her way back onto the stage. That flip kick does wonders for her. King Chris was able to get that, belly from all the way under the stage. And able to secure the stock from it. So if Enarmonia, one of Robin's most powerful states, the ledge trapping, is lost, what does Robin have left?
Yeah, and now you're kind of waiting for the 11 sword to come back, trying to secure this kill. This is going to be tough. The forward air is going to put him into the corner, but from all the way across the stage, not quite going to kill. Looking for a big old beam through the heart, and that's not going to do it quite yet. Spacing, making them shield arc fire and following up, so decent kill there from Enarmonia. But I think you just ran out of real estate there. Call that a JV3. That's the response you wanted from Lights.
Yeah, that was an absurd JV3. That second stock was just actually beautifully played. You saw Lights positioning themselves. You saw them waiting. As soon as they saw Arcfire come out from Robin, they pressed that down immediately. They were able to get the parry, the ground. And then instead of trying to, risk the timing, after they landed onto the platform, thinking to themselves, will I be able to drop down up B? They just instead went for the extension with the down smash. That was sick. That was so cool. That was one of the coolest things I've seen Zero Suit do. Period. I think that was a really, really smart play. I think Lights definitely showed like a lot of technical prowess with that one, and just like a lot of really good situational awareness. Maybe I'm gassing them up a little bit. Maybe, who knows, maybe it might be the easiest confirm in the world. But to me, as a spectator, I think it looked pretty poggers.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It's not easy to do, but it's one of those things where it combines situational awareness with the technical aptitude, and Lights was there to follow it up, getting that flip kick, getting right up to the platform. And we actually have seen them do that a few times in the DNA brackets, and certainly whatever Wi-Fi brackets Lights has entered. They're always willing to kind of show off that little bit of tech. It's nowhere close to true. You do have to read your opponent mashing out and time it out perfectly. But if you're ready for that quick time event, then you're good to go. And that's going to be a game 3 situation. Enarmonia, they're not out of this one, but how do you work your way back from that? You just got JV3'd. by one of the best players in the world as we go to small battlefield for game 3. Like, what's your mentality here, Dara?
I mean, he just gotta like, he's gotta shrug it off. He just gotta say, okay, you know what, game 2 happened. You have an idea of how King Chris is gonna be getting back onto the stage, and you just have to do whatever you can to take it slowly. But right now, I see Enarmonia jumping, swinging through the fences, and Light so confident with the timing on these falling aerials, starting to parry them. Normally, that would have been relatively safe on shield, but you know, obviously on parry, not gonna fly like that, buddy. So you know, I just feel like Lights is just like securing the play so well. And just really starting to run over Enarmonia a little bit.
It is a tough go for sure for Enarmonia as they are trying to make their way back into this thing, but getting spaced out a little too efficiently. But that falling there, trying to catch down smash with on a 2-frame, but back forward air, excuse me, is going to give themselves just a little bit of space for Enarmonia. But I don't know if Arcfire is getting shielded, you're trying to rely. You need to rely on follow-ups on that. I'm not sure how easily Lights is going to let that happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm just looking at this. Enarmonia is just really struggling to initiate all the neutral tools. Thunder, L Thunder, you know, stuff along those lines. Like, King Chris is just able to position themselves properly, react, and just be able to stuff it out with Zero. That up B not going to be able to kill quite yet. Literally just a few percent away from being able to do so. And that Arcfire's ledge going to be coming in so clutch for them, giving them that little bit of extra insurance that they need to be able to get back onto the stage.
I think that neutral beam might have been a misinput there. So the big laser is going to go away for a little while, and Lights, well, their laser not quite as big, but it whips and it does its job and it takes a stock there. So they're more than happy with how that plays out. But I mean, you're King Chris. You're probably starting to lock it down. Maybe not park the bus, but you certainly have the option to, as you're forcing Robin to try to get in. And even though, yeah, you do have quick aerials, I mean, try moving in ZSS's airspace, I mean, in any way imaginable.
Yeah. Like, just like King Chris, like, look at this. The way that they're positioning themselves, Enarmonia is just not able to get a single L Thunder, not able to get a single Thunder. And suddenly, like, once those tools are invalidated from Robin, they just sort of start swinging through the fences, all these whiffed aerials. I don't know. To me, it really feels like Lights is just looking so confident in this matchup right now. I don't see the kind of adjustments that Enarmonia needs to make right now, other than just slow the game down to like the pace of a tortoise and try to start it from square one.
Not finding the mark with that forward air, but Lights has been hitting their target a little too often. Good follow-up there from Enarmonia. They are down by a significant portion. However, it's Enarmonia perhaps taking a breath, realizing they're not out of this just yet.
I like the fact that Enarmonia is now starting to just sort of take, like, you see them, like, sort of going back a little bit instead of immediately, like, going for Thunder, L Thunder, or whatever. They're just maybe going through some, like, bigger, more powerful options that could lead into some bigger confirms. That Nosferatu going to come in super clutch. They were ready for that flip kick, but alas, no punish. Pain. A little bit too slow.
That's just the nature of the game sometimes, and as Enarmonia trying to work their way back into this set, sitting at 79%, nowhere close to kill percentage, but that does not mean you need to be lulled into a sense of security. There is none when you're around Lights. We know just how quickly they can take stocks. See stock number 1 of that last game. And Lights right now controlling the stage and kind of dictating where Enarmonia is going to go, trying to get them into a rhythm, but yeah, that seems to be effective so far, Dara.
Yeah, that Arcfire. I'm a little bit surprised about how far that Arcfire traveled. Really unfortunate that King Chris was not able to get the spike there. And falling out of the fair, but actually going to still work in their favor, being able to react and punish that directional air dodge back in. That's just like a really unfortunate circumstance for Enarmonia. They couldn't have anticipated falling out of that fair. Definitely not one of the more consistent multi-hits in this game. God bless Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and its multi-hits. But that being said,
you gotta be prepared for that situation, and Lights was.
Yep, they landed, they saw, hey, that's a directional air dodge back end. I can react, I can punish, and they got a really nice kill off of it. Enarmonia able to get a couple of bits of chip damage here and there, but right now King Chris going through those 50-50s, trying to get a high recovery, not going to run into that up smash quite yet.
Yeah, and I mean, 50-50 means you might win, you might lose, but you can kind of afford to. You've got a full stock lead in an elimination match. This is to qualify for top 32. Lights looking for that spot. This is their birthright. They have finished in top 8 for so many tournaments this week alone. You better believe they're looking for a top 8 spot in
Mhm.
Smash Out Breast Cancer as they're going to connect with that Nair, get Enarmonia off the stage, and if they have their way, they're not going to touch ground again.
That
And
was
the
a
up
beautiful up
smash,
smash. Oh my
beautifully
gosh.
read on the jump.
That was, you know what? They just caught onto Enarmonia's just aggression and just like tendency just to like want to go ahead and initiate. They
Oh,
ran right up to that shield, hit him with another up smash. That one's not going to be able to take it quite yet, but all it is really, really good damage. No kill yet on that, state of vulnerability,
there you
but
go.
that's going to be it. More than enough to be able to take it. Lights in Enarmonia's head. I've got to say, went free for a little bit. They ran up to the shield, up smash like that. When somebody goes up to you and has the confidence to hit you with an option like that, it usually says something like, okay, well, I am so confident that you are priming yourself. People have primed reactions. They're priming themselves to go for an immediate jump aerial out of shield. Enarmonia was doing that all the time. So Lights was like, okay, I'm going to hit you shield and multi-hit, and you're going to try to buffer the jump out. And that's how they were able to land that. It was really beautifully timed. Lights caught onto that like antiness so well from Enarmonia, and was able to secure it 2-1 after, I would say a pretty convincing game one for Enarmonia.
Yeah, I mean, that's Lights though, willing themselves back into that set come hell or high water. They always make sure that they are in a position to contend, and